Welcome back to the A Game. I'm Holland Bostrom.
And I'm Alan McManus. And if you're looking for the best place for all things Appalachian State sports, you have come to the right place.
We have a great show for you today. Marnie Bond has a new Mountaineer Spotlight this week that you won't want to miss. Also, Shaim Stafford hits the town to talk with you guys on App State Sports.
We have a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it, right here on the A Game.
App State men's basketball trimmed a 19-point second-half deficit to 4, but fell 84-77 to Coastal Carolina on senior night on Saturday evening. The Chanticleers opened a 73-54 lead with just over 4 minutes left in the contest. From there, the Mountaineers outscored the Chanticleers 24-7 over a span of just 3.5 minutes to pull within 4 points with 28 seconds to go. Coastal Carolina pushed its lead back to 6 with 22 seconds left on a pair of free throws, and the Mountaineers pulled back within 5 in the final seconds, but could not muster a comeback. The trio of Mountaineer seniors all reached double figures in scoring on senior day. O'Shawn Williams reached double figures for the 8th straight game with a team-high 19 points. Isaac Johnson added his team-leading 7th double-double of the season with 17 points, a game-high tying 12 rebounds, and 3 assists. Hunter Seacat added his 2nd double-double of the season with a season-high tying 13 points and a career high of 12 rebounds. Justin Forrest also reached double figures with 11 points, and Kendall Lewis finished with 10 points and 5 rebounds. App State pulled down 36 boards in the contest, including 15 on the offensive glass. The 15 offensive rebounds for the Mountaineers rank as the 3rd most in a game this season. The Mountaineers will conclude the regular season at ULM this week, while the Sun Belt Conference tourney ramps up next week.
App State women's basketball sent its seniors off with a 68-49 victory on senior day over ULM on Saturday afternoon in the Holmes Center. App State improves to 10-18 overall and 7-10 in conference play. Michaela Porter led the team with a career-high 17 points on 4 field goals and a perfect 7 of 7 from the free throw line. Bree Stanley scored an efficient 14 points on 7 for 9 for shooting in the field and tied a career high with 5 steals, helping the defense force a season-high 23 turnovers. Ashley Polachek scored 8 of her 12 points in the second half, while Bailey Plummer notched a game-high 11 rebounds with 5 points, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Nicola Matthews got the team off to a solid start, hitting 2 of her team-high 3 three-pointers to give the black and gold a 6-2 advantage. App State turned it up in the second quarter, scoring 28 points. The Mountaineers scored 16 in the paint and forced 8 miscues in the quarter. Appalachian then engineered a 20-4 run over a 6-minute span, which led to a 41-19 halftime lead. The lead never dipped below 14 points in the final 2 minutes of the contest, helping App State improve to 10-0 all-time against ULM. The Lady Mountaineers scored a season-high 27 points off the miscues while holding a 26-14 edge in points in the paint, while they also had 42 points scored by the bench. Appalachian clinched a spot in the Sun Belt tournament and will await next week to see where it will finish. The Mountaineers close out the regular season against Coastal Carolina on Saturday at 2 p.m. in Conway, South Carolina.
The 2019-20 regular season is over, and App State Wrestling led Division I teams with 4 shutouts. That total topped the second-place number of 3 apiece from number 1 Iowa and number 10 Pittsburgh. Michigan State had 2 as the only other team with more than 1 shutout. In all, App State accounted for 4 of the 28 shutouts this season in duels involving 2 Division I teams. All 4 of the shutouts by App State occurred over its last 8 duels, and 3 of them involved an opponent that had a top 30 wrestler in its lineup. The Mountaineers won 48-0 against Presbyterian on January 12th, 45-0 against Duke on January 23rd, 44-0 at the Citadel, and 43-0 against VMI. Thomas Flitz beat a top 25 opponent against Duke. Will Formato had a third period comeback to force overtime in a win against the top 30 opponent to end the duel at the Citadel, and Flitz won a 12-11 decision against VMI's Neil Richards, the reigning SoCon Wrestler of the Year, who arrived in Boone with a national ranking of number 16 and a 35-6 record this season. For App State, it set a single-season school record for shutouts since it began competing at the Division I level. It posted its highest number of shutouts since the 1958-59 team began that season with 7 consecutive shutouts. The Mountaineers rank in the top 5 in several other team categories, notably in Tech Falls with 32 and Falls with 52. App State will be back in action on March 8th when App State hosts the SoCon Championships in the Holmes Convocation Center.
Hi neighbor, I'm John Park.
I'm Ned Moultrie.
And I'm Justin Lundy.
Join us every Tuesday at 10 a.m. as we celebrate the people, events, and organizations that make the High Country so special.
You can tune in on Channel 198 for Spectrum customers, Channels 20 or 1020 for SkyBest customers, or Channel 23-3 on campus. Until then,
Bye, neighbor.
Andrew Greckel's 2-run homer in the top of the 9th inning propelled App State's baseball team to its first win over number 24 Wake Forest since 2015. The Mountaineers scored 3 runs in a wild final frame to turn a 9-8 deficit into an 11-9 victory. App State trailed 9-8 entering the 9th inning. Tyler Leak began the rally after smacking an infield single. Robbie Young then dropped down a bunt to move Leak to second. After Leak advanced to third on a wild pitch, Philip Cole hit a ground ball to first base, scoring a headfirst sliding Leak to tie the game at 9-all. With Cole at first base, Andrew Greckel crushed a 1-1 pitch over the wall in center field, giving the Mountaineers a 2-run advantage. Jack Hartman closed out the 9th for App State on the mound, punching out 3 straight batters after allowing the first 2 Demon Deacons to reach base. The Mountaineers scored 6 runs in the top of the 5th to take an 8-6 lead. Drumheller knocked in the first 2 runs with a 2-run double to left field. Luke Allison capped off App State's scoring barrage with a ground rule double to left center, plating Cole from second base. App State used 5 pitchers in Wednesday's victory: starter Cole Hooper, Noah Hall, Cy Smith, Andrew Papp, and Jack Hartman. Hartman closed out the final 1 1/3 innings for the Mountaineers, striking out 4 Demon Deacons. The Mountaineers tallied 12 strikeouts, which is the 5th time in 7 games App State's pitching staff has recorded 10 or more punchouts in one game. Idle and Allison both finished with 2-hit performances, while Luke Drumheller and Greckel tied with a team-high 3 RBIs apiece. Idle topped the lineup with 3 runs scored. Appalachian's most previous win over Wake Forest came in 2015 when Mountaineers defeated the Demon Deacons 10-1 in Winston-Salem.
Starting pitcher Tyler Tuttle earned his first win of the season in a 5-1 triumph at UNCG on Friday. Tuttle, Noah Hall, and Andrew Papp's performances on the mound helped App snap UNCG's 6-game winning streak, limiting the Spartans to just 1 run and 6 hits in the victory. Tuttle allowed no hits through the first 3 innings before UNCG scored its sole run of the contest in the 4th inning. The Southpaw finished with 5 strikeouts and 4 hits allowed in 5 innings on the mound. Hall then worked a trio of scoreless frames, striking out 2 Spartans and giving up just 1 base hit. Papp closed out Friday's victory with App State's 4th inning of scoreless relief, punching out UNCG's Hogan Windish to secure the win. Luke Drumheller finished with a team-high 3 hits, finishing with 2 runs scored and an RBI to lift his season batting average to .314 for the season. Luke Allison, Andrew Greckel, and Tyler Leak all tallied 2-hit performances, with at least 1 base knock going for extra bases.
Timely hitting and strong bullpen performances powered the baseball team to another win, tallying 6-5 at UNCG. App State's series-clinching victory also marked its 3rd straight win. Redshirt sophomore Cam Roberts delivered 5 innings in relief for the Mountaineers, allowing just 3 runs in 5 innings to earn his first win as a Mountaineer. Roberts used a pair of double plays to record scoreless innings in the 4th and 5th. The right-hander recorded 3 straight scoreless innings spanning from the 3rd to the 5th frame. Freshman Cy Smith pitched 2 1/3 innings following Roberts, giving up just 2 hits and striking out 4 Spartans in a scoreless performance. Jack Hartman then nailed down his first save of the year to secure the win. Hartman retired the side in order with a pair of strikeouts, punching out UNCG's final batter for the last out. The Mountaineers opened Saturday's game with a 3-run first inning, which was also their third game in a row with a run scored in the first. Redshirt senior Luke Allison, sophomore Luke Drumheller, and junior Tyler Leak all reached base to load the bases before senior Robbie Young hit a sac fly to center field, scoring Allison from third to take the 1-0 lead. And then later, with the game tied at 4-all, Andrew Grekel scored on a wild pitch to put App State in the lead for good. Luke Allison singled with 2 outs in the 6th inning to keep the inning alive, advancing to second on a wild pitch. Drumheller then singled to center on a shallow fly ball, scoring Allison from third to extend App State's lead 6-4, where they would see the end of the game.
App State's baseball team dropped a 15-inning heartbreaker in its second straight Sunday matchup, falling 8-7 to UNCG in the series finale. App State's combined pitching staff tied a single-game record with 19 strikeouts, with 6 pitchers combining to record punch-outs on the mound. After UNCG stretched its lead to 6-2 in the 7th, the Mountaineers tallied a pair of runs in the 8th and 9th to send the game to extra innings. Kendall McGowan jump-started the rally with a 2-out double down the left field line in the 8th. Philip Cole then doubled on a 1-1 pitch to cut UNCG's advantage to just 3. Sophomore Hayden Cross tacked on another run for App State with 2 outs on an RBI single. The Mountaineers tied the game with 2 runs in the 9th. Luke Allison reached base after being hit by a pitch. Then Andrew Grekel then smacked an RBI double, scoring Allison all the way from first base to cut the lead to 6-5. Grekel advanced to third on a fielding error in center field before Robbie Young shot a ball through the left side to plate Grekel from third, knotting the game at 6-all. App State took a 7-6 lead in the 11th with a 2-out RBI double from McGowan, scoring Andrew Terrell from second. Terrell drew a walk on a 3-2 pitch earlier. The Spartans retied the game at 7-all with a timely home run in the bottom of the 11th. UNCG's Spencer Smith walked off the Sunday's series finale in the 15th inning with a single to left field, bringing home Caleb Webster from second base. Junior left-hander Quentin Martinez allowed just 1 hit through his first 3 frames, facing the minimum twice in 5 innings on the mound. 4 App State pitchers, Martinez, Jack Hartman, Noah Hall, and Cole, each recorded at least 3 punch-outs in the contest. App State's 19 strikeouts ties a single-game record last reached in a 3-1 win over Davidson in 12 innings back in 2011. App State returns to the diamond on Wednesday at Western Carolina.
The App State softball team opened the 2020 Spartan Classic with a victory, taking down Oakland 4-3. The Mountaineers battled back from a 3-run deficit to post their 10th win of the season. Oakland scored all 3 of its runs in the first inning, scoring off 2 groundouts and a single. The runners for Oakland reached base off 2 singles and a walk. App State starter Kenzie Longenecker was able to work out of the inning with a strikeout. The Mountaineers began the comeback in the 3rd inning as Mary Pierce Barnes walked to start the inning. Emily Parrott would then double to left center to score Barnes from first base. The 5th would see 2 more runs for App State as Barnes again started the rally with a double to left center. Carrie White singled to left field to advance her to third, and Bailey Morton singled to score Barnes and White. Both teams would remain scoreless until the top of the 6th when Sydney Russell hit her first home run of the season to clinch the game for the Mountaineers. Longenecker and the Mountaineer defense held the Grizzlies in check for their final 2 at-bats. Longenecker ended the game with 7 strikeouts, giving up 4 hits and only 2 walks.
On the second day of the Spartan Classic, the App State softball team dropped 2 games, falling to Oakland 8-1 and to Dayton 2-0. The Mountaineers are now 10-7 on the season. The Mountaineers took the loss in the first game of the day as Oakland used a 4-run 5th inning to take the lead and ultimately the win. Both teams opened up the first inning with a run as Emily Parrott scored on a fielder's choice from Taylor Thorpe. Parrott was able to reach base on a single. From there, neither team would score until the 5th, when the Grizzlies put up 4 runs off of 2 hits and a Mountaineer error. Oakland would then add the insurance runs in the 6th and 7th with a 2-run home run in the 6th and a solo home run in the 7th. Starter Sydney Holland received the loss in the circle, giving up 5 runs off of 5 hits and 4 walks. Taylor Nichols came on in relief in the 5th, pitching the last 2 2/3 innings, giving up 3 runs on 2 hits and 1 walk. The second game was a low-scoring affair as Dayton scored in the second and third inning to take the win. A flyer reached base on a double and then was scored on an RBI single in the second. Then a Dayton home run in the third added the insurance run. Kenzie Longenecker received the loss in the circle, giving up both runs on 6 hits and 2 walks. Offensively, Gabby Baratu led App State with 3 hits. Carrie White and Sydney Russell also added 2 hits apiece.
The softball team defeated UNCG 2-1 to end the Spartan Classic on Sunday afternoon. Senior Sydney Holland threw a no-hitter, the first of her career and the first since head coach Shelley Horner arrived at App State. The Mountaineers moved to 11-7 on the season. Holland allowed only 3 runners on base the entire game, with 2 walks and an error. She struck out 4 in her 7th win of the season. Taylor Thorpe and Mary Pierce Barnes each had an RBI double to score the 2 runs for the Mountaineers. Thorpe got things started in the first inning, scoring Emily Parrott, who reached base off a single up the middle. In the second, Gabby Barato singled up the middle and was scored by a double from Barnes. From there, both pitchers took over, not allowing another run for the rest of the game. The Mountaineers have a quick turnaround, hosting Virginia Tech this week in their home opener. The first pitch is set for 5 p.m.
Jessica Dixon won the 400-meter dash in a school record time to lead App State women's track and field on the final day of the Sun Belt Championships. The Mountaineer women finished 6th out of 12 teams with 49 points. Arkansas State won the team title with 138 points, while Troy was second with 89, and Texas State had 80 to round out the top 3. Dixon qualified second in the 400-meter dash on Monday. She turned in a time of 55.25 seconds in the finals on Tuesday to win the event by over 0.35 seconds, while she broke the school record in the process. She becomes the 5th Mountaineer to win an indoor conference title in the 400-meter dash and the first to do so since 2013. Dixon also earned second-team All-Sun Belt honors in the 200-meter dash with a time of 24.27 seconds. Her mark also moves her into 3rd place in program history in the event. Dixon teamed with Jelani Smith, Peyton Simmons, and Samara Gibson for all conference honors with a 3rd place finish in the 4x400 meter relay with a time of 3 minutes 47.8 seconds. Simmons placed 3rd in the long jump to earn 3rd team All-Sun Belt honors. Simmons covered a personal record mark of 5.98 meters for her conference accolades. Her mark also places her 8th in the program history in the event. The tandem of Anika Merck, Arabian Lily, Sarah Venable, and Kylie Frady crossed 4th in the DMR with a time of 12:09.83. Taylor Smith also scored points in the long jump for the black and gold, finishing 6th with a mark of 5.71 meters. App State placed 2 in the top 8 of the 3,000-meter run. Leisha Van Olsen crossed 6th with a time of 9:59.04, and Isley Evely was right behind in a 7th place with a personal record mark of 10:01.37. LaBria King crossed 6th for App State in the 60-meter dash in a season-best time of 7.77 seconds. Hassani Burris posted a personal record in the triple jump with a record 11.83 meters. In the 5,000-meter run, Leela Peters scored 2 points for the Mountaineers with a 7th place finish with a personal record time in the event. The Mountaineers will now shift their focus to the outdoor season, which begins March 19th in the 49er Classic in Charlotte.
After the break, we'll hear what fellow App State students around campus have to say in this week's Q&A game.
Live from the Beasley Media Complex in Boone, this is the Appalachian Weekly News.
I'm here on Sanford Mall, and as you can see,
3.1 million Americans
Invading insects or bad weather.
Season starts in January.
For all of us at the Appalachian Weekly News, thank you for watching.
Welcome to the Q&A game. I'm your host, Shaheem Stafford. I'm standing here with Nina. And Nina, my first question is, can you guess the men's basketball team record?
Ooh, like the current season record?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go 5-3.
16 and 14.
15.
I'm going to guess about 12 and 11.
I'm guessing it's 16 and 14, 10 and 9 in the Sun Belt to be exact.
Maybe 14 and 14.
7 to 14.
Are we undefeated?
No.
11 and 2.
I think it's like 17 and 16, something like that. 17, 16.
I have no clue. Like, what is it though?
16 and 14.
Impressive. I love to hear it.
28-0.
Second question is, springtime is coming up, so what are you looking forward to most during the spring break here in Boone?
Well, I'm actually a student teacher, so I don't have the same spring break as App State, so I'm waiting for another month and a half for spring break.
Hiking.
That's a good question. Definitely going outside in the warmer weather. Everybody kind of being outside and just enjoying the sun.
I love the change in the season, and everybody's outside again, and the atmosphere on campus is really bright. It's a good time for everyone.
I guess new recruits and looking forward to next year. I don't know if are they going to make the postseason. And they got the tournament, I guess, coming up, and then I don't know. We'll see what happens next year.
Not the snow.
The warm weather, man. I'm really happy for this winter crap to be over with.
I like how the weather's going to get more nice outside, so I can go out more, hang out with my friends, do more like stuff outside. Like go cliff jumping and stuff like that. So
I'm looking forward to climbing outside, coming to the climbing wall. That's where I work. I'm headed in there right now. Okay. But yeah, looking forward to that.
The cold weather, but get some nice weather here back. Just looking to see the basketball team work on getting to 28-0 next year. Just spring practice.
And there you have it. Back to you guys in the studio.
The men's tennis team fell to a solid Campbell team on Saturday afternoon 6-1 at the Nisbet Tennis Center. App State is now 2-9 on the season. The Mountaineers came into the contest against a Camels team that is a tough out at home, as they have yet to lose a home match since the 2017-2018 season. Alex Pavkovich won his second singles contest of the season to highlight the day for the Black and Gold. As the number 6 in the lineup, he defeated Michael Rodriguez in straight sets 7-6, 5-3. Campbell captured the other 5 matches, with 2 of the contests going to a third frame after the match was clinched. App State will look to regroup next weekend in Charlotte when it takes on the 49ers on Friday and North Florida the next day. Both matches will take place at 3 p.m.
App State women's tennis jumped a massive 29 spots to 49th in the latest edition of the Oracle Division I Women's Rankings, the organization announced on Tuesday. The number 49 ranking is the highest in program history, with the previous high being 65th in 2013. App State is one of 5 schools with North Carolina, NC State, Duke, and Wake Forest from North Carolina to be ranked in the top 50. It's to no surprise the Apps jumped this high after defeating then number 48 East Carolina, who was 30 spots higher than the Black and Gold. App State is on a 5-match win streak after downing the College of Charleston on Sunday in a 4-3 victory, extending its streak to 12 straight home wins dating back to last season. And since last season, the Mountaineers are 20-8 over their last 28 matches and 31-19 over their last 50 contests since Coach Mosley's second season at the helm.
The number 49 App State women's tennis team fell to a formidable Charlotte squad by a score of 4-2 on Saturday afternoon. The Mountaineers fall to 5-3, while Charlotte moves to 10-4 on the season. App State couldn't get any momentum early, with the 49ers capturing the doubles point and picking up the 2 needed matches to claim the victory. Highlighting the day for the Black and Gold were Sasha Piserva and Maria Jose Zacharias. The pair tallied both points for the Apps, with Piserva staying undefeated at 8-0 in singles play. The junior dealt Rocario Safont a straight set 7-5, 6-2 defeat as the number 1 in the lineup. Zacharias won her second consecutive match and improved to 5-3 on the season after a 6-3, 6-4 victory over Jenna Dean as the number 4 in the lineup.
The 2020 football schedule has been announced. With 2 matchups against Power 5 conference opponents with 2019 bowl appearances and a pair of nationally televised Sunbelt Conference games separated by 7 days are among the highlights on a 2020 schedule that includes 2 home games apiece for App State in September, October, and November. Moving forward from a historic 13-1 season that ended with a top 20 national ranking and a bowl victory for new head coach Sean Clark in his head coaching debut, the Mountaineers have 6 regular season home games with visits to Kidd Brewer Stadium for Morgan State on the season opener, Massachusetts on family weekend, Louisiana for a Wednesday night showdown in primetime on ESPN2, Arkansas State for homecoming, Georgia State on November 14th, and Troy finishing up on November 28th in the regular season finale. The road games begin with back-to-back September visits to Power 5 schools in Wake Forest and Wisconsin. After 2 home games, a Wednesday night trip to Georgia Southern for an ESPN2 game on October 14th occurs a week after the Sunbelt opener against Louisiana. The Mountaineers have back-to-back road games against ULM on Halloween and Texas State before playing their final road game of the regular season at Coastal Carolina on November 21st.
The Saturday home games in September and October will begin at 3:30 p.m. The 2 Saturday home games in November will start at 2:30 p.m. The 2020 Sun Belt Championship game between East and West Division winners will be held on December 5th at an on-campus location of the division winner with the best record. South Alabama is the lone member of the 10-team Sun Belt not on App State's 8-game conference schedule in 2020. The Mountaineers will be playing Arkansas State in Boone for the first time since 2015. The App State-Georgia Southern game will be a midweek nationally televised matchup for the 7th straight year, but this will be their first FBS meeting in which App State doesn't play 5 days before facing the Eagles on a short week. The series with Wake Forest resumes, as the 2017 meeting in Boone was the 23rd game in series history, and the trip to Camp Randall in Madison, Wisconsin will be App State's first ever meeting with the Badgers. All told, App State will play 6 teams that made bowl appearances in 2019. Wake Forest, Wisconsin, Louisiana, Georgia Southern, Arkansas State, and Georgia State. The Mountaineers are facing Morgan State for the first time and UMass for the third.
And now, before we wrap up the show, it's time for our App State Player of the Week. For the 3rd time this season, Sasha Pisareva was selected as the Sunbelt Women's Tennis Player of the Week. In the matchup against the Pirates, the junior helped App earn its first ever win against a ranked opponent since the ITA rankings were established. Pisareva was undefeated in both singles and doubles, boasting a 2-0 record. On Sunday against the College of Charleston, Pisareva bounced back and won her singles match after notably losing the first set with Slade Coetzee. In doubles, the Player of the Week teamed up with Sandra Anglesio, winning 6-4 against Anastasia Palaska and Slade Coetzee to clinch the doubles point. Pisareva also clinched the singles point for the Mountaineers. Pisareva has now improved to 7-0 in singles and 3-3 in doubles while posting a 3-0 mark in 3-set matches. She's played a pivotal role for the Apps in recording the highest ranking in school history, jumping up to 49th in the country.
This week we have another special athlete at App. Junior Thomas Flitz has been named the Southern Conference Wrestler of the Week following his win against VMI in a matchup of ranked upperclassmen. He is the 4th App State member to win a SoCon Wrestler of the Week award this season, joining Jonathan Milner, Sean Carter, and Cody Russell. Listed at number 33 at 174 pounds in the most recent NCAA Coaches Panel rankings, Flitz earned a victory Sunday by a 12-1 decision against Neil Richard, the reigning SoCon Wrestler of the Year, who arrived in Boone with a ranking of number 16 and a 35-6 record on the season. At 28-10 overall this season, and with a final mark of 7-0 in SoCon duels, Flitz has won his last 12 matches, a streak that began with the 7th place match at the Southern Scuffle on January 2nd. He has had 17 victories in his last 19 dating back to mid-December. Flitz's big win against VMI enabled the Mountaineers to finish the regular season with an NCAA leading 4 shutout victories as a team.
That's all the time we have today. Thank you for tuning in this week. I'm Holland Bostrom.
And I'm Alan McManus. See you next week on The A Game.